I never imagined neighborhood politics could threaten my actual health, but last summer proved me dead wrong. 6 months after moving into Sycamore Heights, a picture-perfect suburb with manicured lawns, matching mailboxes, and a suffocating sameness, I learned what it meant to live under the shadow of an HOA president who treated control like a drug. Her name was Karen Whitfield. To say she micromanaged a neighborhood is an understatement. She ruled it like a petty tyrant with a clipboard. From the moment I moved in, she hunted for flaws. My garbage cans were visible from the street for 10 extra minutes. The trim of my house wasn't creamy eggshell, but Navajo white. My holiday decorations violated some obscure subsection of the covenant no one had ever heard of. I tried to go along at first, swallowing my pride and complying, but quickly became clear. Nothing would ever be enough for her. Karen was in her mid-50s, with a standard-issue highlighted blonde bob, a smug smile that never touched her eyes, and a white Lexus SUV with vanity plate that read HOA boss. She'd been president for 8 years because no one dared challenge her. Anyone who tried was buried under a mountain of violation notices until they either bent the knee or broke. For months, I stayed quiet, kept my head down, played her game. But the day I installed a small, secure package delivery box by my front door, everything changed. I travel often for work, and after losing several deliveries to porch pirates, the box was a necessity. It was subtle, painted to match my house, barely noticeable unless you were looking for it. 3 days later, I came home to find a violation notice taped to my door like a scarlet letter. Unapproved exterior modification. Remove immediately or face daily fines of $100. Annoying, but not unexpected. So I followed the rules, submitted a retroactive approval request to the HOA's architectural committee with photos, specs, and everything. To my relief, the committee actually approved it. I thought that would end it. But Karen had other plans. At the next HOA meeting, she theatrically invoked her so-called emergency powers as president and overrode the committee's decision. Emergency powers for a package box. I tried to reason with her afterward, explaining that I needed the box for medication deliveries. I suffer from a chronic condition that requires specialty prescriptions not available at regular pharmacies. The box wasn't convenience. It was survival. Karen didn't flinch. With a dismissive wave of her hand, she said, "Rules are rules. If we let you have your little box, soon everyone will want one, and our community aesthetic will be ruined. Besides, you can just pick up your medication like a normal person." When I insisted that wasn't an option, she leaned in with a condescending smile. "That sounds like a you problem, not an HOA problem." That was a line in the sand. My health was on the line, and the committee had approved it. I refused to remove the box. Karen responded with fury, disguised as bureaucracy. The fine started immediately. After 2 weeks, I received a certified letter. I owed $1,400. Remove the box within 48 hours, or further action would be taken. A lawyer confirmed what I already suspected. Karen was exceeding her authority. The committee's decision should have been final. Her so-called emergency powers? Non-existent in the bylaws. My lawyer sent a blistering letter to the HOA board. I thought that would scare her into backing down. I was wrong. So very wrong. The next day, I left town for a 3-day work trip. I made sure everything was in order. Lawn trimmed, trash cans hidden. No excuses for Karen to strike again. My monthly medication delivery was scheduled while I was gone, but that was the entire reason for the box. I wasn't worried. When I returned Friday night, exhaustion gave way to fury. The box was gone. Not vandalized. Not damaged. Gone. In its place, laminated against the rain, was a violation notice. The HOA has exercised its right to remedy the violation. The next morning, I went to the HOA office to retrieve my package. The office was closed. My delivery notifications showed it had arrived 2 days earlier. I tore through my yard, hoping the courier had hidden it somewhere. Nothing. Finally, I went to Karen's house. She answered the door in a tennis outfit, sweat still glistening on her forehead, a smirk already forming. I forced my voice to stay calm. "Where's my package?" Her smile widened, shark-like. "Oh, that It was sitting out there for days, an eyesore, probably attracting thieves. I disposed of it. The words hit me like ice water. You dispose of my medication? Do you have any idea what you've done? Those are controlled substances. I need those to function. Her expression never changed. If they cost over $1,000, I can't just replace them, I said, my voice shaking with fury and disbelief. Karen's expression hardened into stone. You should have thought of that before breaking our community's standards. Besides, I did you a favor. Mysterious, unmarked packages left on porches? Who knows what's inside? For all I know, you're running a drug operation. I stared at her, stunned. Unmarked? The package had pharmacy labels plastered all over it. You had no right to touch my property, let alone dispose of my prescription medication. She crossed her arms, eyes narrowing to icy slits. Take it up with the board. I have a tennis match to get to. She began to close the door. I caught it with my hand. Not forcefully, just firmly. Karen, listen to me. This isn't about the HOA anymore. This is about my health. Where did you put my medication? Her eyes went wide, feigning fear. Her voice shot up, shrill and calculated, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Are you threatening me? Remove your hand from my door immediately, or I'll call the police. I stepped back, realizing she was staging the scene to make me the aggressor. My voice cracked with desperation. I'm not threatening you. I just need my medication. Please. This could kill me. Her lips curled into a satisfied smirk. I already told you. I disposed of it. Maybe next time, you'll think twice before breaking the rules. And with that, she slammed the door in my face. For a long moment, I just stood there, numb. My body felt hollow, my mind racing. Without my medication, I was looking at 2 weeks of physical decline, maybe worse. I called my specialty pharmacy in a panic. The pharmacist, Sarah, listened as I stammered through the story. When I got to the part about Karen disposing of the package, her voice sharpened with outrage. Wait, she deliberately destroyed your medication? That's not just cruel, that's illegal. Tampering with prescription medication, especially controlled substances, is a federal offense. The thought hadn't even occurred to me. I was too focused on survival. What should I do? I can't wait 2 weeks for a refill. Sarah's voice was firm. First, we report this to the police. This is theft and tampering with mail. I'll send them everything: delivery confirmation, tracking, and documentation. Second, I'll work with your insurance to push through an emergency override. You will not go without your medication. For the first time, I felt a glimmer of hope. That afternoon, I filed a police report. The officer seemed skeptical at first. Another neighborly dispute, maybe a misunderstanding. But once I showed him the violation notices, the lawyer's letter, and the delivery confirmation, his tone shifted. He took detailed notes and assured me an investigation would follow. The next morning, I heard voices outside, sharp, urgent. I looked out my window and froze. Karen was being led across her lawn in handcuffs, still wearing her pressed Sunday church dress. Neighbors gathered on driveways, whispering, smirking, some even smiling openly. The woman who had once lorded over all of us now looked small, her face red with humiliation, as officers guided her into the back of a patrol car. Later, I learned the full story. Sarah had indeed come through. She provided documentation proving the medication was a controlled substance requiring special handling that elevated the charges from petty theft to something far more serious. When police questioned Karen, she admitted to throwing the package away, claiming she believed it was contraband. The dumpster had already been emptied. The medication was gone forever. Worse for her, the police found other people's packages in her garage. Karen had been running her own quiet reign of terror for years, confiscating deliveries under the guise of community standards. I wasn't her first victim, just the one who finally exposed her. The district attorney saw the opportunity to make an example of her. Theft, mail tampering, interfering with the distribution of controlled substances. What could have been a slap on the wrist became a headline-making case. In the end, Karen pled guilty. She was fined $5,000, sentenced to 2 years of probation, and forced to pay restitution for every package she had stolen. And then came her final humiliation. At an emergency HOA board meeting, she was unanimously voted out as president. As she left the community center, pale and trembling, she passed me. For the first time, she couldn't meet my eyes. Her voice cracked as she muttered, half to herself, half to the air, "I never thought they'd actually arrest me over a stupid package. It was just a box." But it wasn't just a box. It was her undoing. Anything, she looked pleased,